Let's get to the road to repeat here. Brought to us by our friends over at Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
All right, I did some investing.
Can I get in trouble? I just mushed JV.
You mushed her like on a bet, or you just went?
No, telling HR.
I mushed her.
Hilarious.
That's why she's laughing.
No, it's a stiff arm. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
It's a stiff arm.
It's a stiff arm.
Not
You're
good.
Hey, Frog Boy's going to go into his personal stash of tickets to give you a chance to see the Heat host the Timberwolves on March 7th. Timberwolves had an incredible comeback yesterday.
Yeah.
They won?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Started the fourth one, 16-0 run or something?
Yeah,
Crazy.
Pummeled.
They beat OKC yesterday, and then Chris Finch, their head coach, came out. Did you hear this?
No.
Can you get him for us, Marcos? Let me know when you get that. We'll get to the Panthers here in just a second. But Chris Finch had a hilarious press conference yesterday talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is, by the way, it's a vet move by Chris Finch because you can only do this after a win. The way that he did this, he went about and he basically hosed down not only the Thunder, but he hosed down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which is a delight. I think it was really, really funny. This was Chris Finch after the game.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. They really do. They foul all the time. And then, you can't really touch Shai. And it's a very frustrating thing, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to try to play through it. And we just eventually were able to get downhill and force the issue ourselves, and we're rewarded for it.
Man. But that's a good move. Like, listen, if you do that after a loss, you're gonna get made fun of. Loser. But you do that after a win, where you make it seem like you just overcame the challenge of it. That's good. Good job by Finch. Anyway,
because if you lose, it sounds like sour grapes.
Right.
You're whining.
Exactly, dude.
Right.
Exactly. So I did some investigation.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
I found the cut.
Okay.
I don't know.
Enough to keep him out for the rest of the game?
I don't think. First of all, it looked like it was on the outside of his hand.
Okay.
It didn't look like it was. Like, I remember there was a game where Hassan Whiteside got up for a block and he sliced between his hand on the rim.
Oh yeah, it almost looked like he had to tape it up like a broken hand.
This looked like drippy drip on the outside knuckles.
Crazy.
Crazy. I can't rule it out, but I don't know.
Stitches? You think Stitches worthy?
It looked like they did some. I mean, it looked like there definitely were people working on him on the bench.
Okay.
But it looked like almost like an oil change. It didn't seem like they went to a whole, repair and throw it and get under the hood. It was like a
NASCAR pit stop.
Those are medical terms.
I don't know what that was. That's you stitching?
What's a butterfly stitch? Is that like the little
the tape?
The tape. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Something tells me Spo just didn't want to play him.
Angry at him.
Which is also and you can't see Spo yelling at him and admonishing him.
I don't have video of that. I was looking for that.
Sitting on the end of the bench.
But you don't see that stuff on TV all day because he could have been doing it during a TV timeout, and Iroh's boots on the ground. Right. So I'm gonna take the long standing Miami Heat reporter OGs. I'm gonna take his word for it.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't like to point to his head. If I'm Cologne, like, where's the scoreboard? For sass.
Hey, it's like in the heat of the battle, I've said some stuff.
A person who says stuff, his name is Matthew Tkachuk. Now, this is cool.
Did you see him on TV?
Matthew Tkachuk was on the Tonight Show.
Really?
He was on with Jimmy Fallon last night.
Get that?
That was amazing. People are hating on him a lot on Instagram.
Are they really?
Yeah,
So when they
Canadians?
So the thread underneath the picture, oh my god. So many
who was hating on him? Where's Marchand? Was he not invited to Jimmy Fallon? Well, let's hear a little bit of Matthew Tkachuk on the Tonight Show, which didn't feature any Boston Bruins.
Oh.
and here was Matthew Tkachuk. This was him discussing on all of the fights in the Four Nations Cup.
This is the Four Nations face-off. Everyone was talking about this. Everyone watched. It was like 60 million people. When was the last time they did this?
It's been 10 years, I think, since the last international opportunity. So this is my 9th year in the league. So I've kind of gotten the short end of the stick on that.
You never had the opportunity,
Never had the opportunity. So I think, myself and all the guys that were in this were just so jacked up for it. And I think that's why you saw the fights all at the beginning of that game against Canada. I think guys want to get their anger out of the way.
No, they did the first 9 seconds of the game. There was like 3 fights.
Yeah.
And you're one of them.
I was one of them. My brother was one of them. So
Dad was proud, huh?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah. But you said in some interview that it was the big one. It was the biggest game you ever played in. You won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
This was bigger.
It really was such a big tournament and such a huge stage, and something that I'll never forget. And just the thing that I'm most proud of with that team was how much pride we showed in representing our country and being Americans. We're so lucky to be from this great country and to be able to represent.
It must feel cool to put that jersey on.
And then, just to be able to represent and look down and see the USA crest.
Yeah.
It's nothing, there's nothing that'll beat that. So it's incredible.
Goosey.
He's like fireworks, dude. Fireworks and apple pie.
Everybody was like,
He is here. Here is
face of hockey.
here's the greatest thing about any
You
Tkachuk.
could have gotten an MVP.
You hate him
Mhm.
unless he's on your team, and
Yeah,
you
that's right.
love him.
Mhm.
And you can't have the perspective until he's on your team.
It's pretty crazy though. Like, how many hockey players are getting on Fallon?
Right? It was so shocking for me to see.
Like, how many guys right
Start a
now?
fight
Love it.
9 seconds into one of the most watched athletic events in a while.
There's not a lot of guys I feel like can have the media cachet though. Like, you got to have a certain personality. That is a thing with.
And you got to
Matthew
look a
Tkachuk.
certain way because Ovechkin is getting ready to break a record
I know
that
it's
nobody
crazy.
thought would break. And I don't know, are they going to have him on with his teeth out or his teeth in or what he's going to do?
I don't know.
See what I mean? Because that's a big deal. That's a record nobody ever thought anybody would break.
That Ovechkin can party. You remember when he won the cup?
Oh my goodness.
Russia. We'll hear more. Let's hear a little bit more for Matthew Tkachuk. We'll break clock for America, Glenn.
Yeah.
For America. This is him on getting to play with Brady.
And you got to play with your brother.
Yeah. It's been
Did you ever play together?
never. It was our first time. We played an all-star game together, but that's fake. So it was our first ever opportunity. And we grew up like always competing against each other and dreaming about eventually one day he plays in Ottawa, I'm in Florida. So we knew it'd be tough for the regular season, but we always had the dreams of playing with each other. And, it finally came true.
When you won the Stanley Cup, there was a shot of your dad. I just want to show everyone. Here's a picture of your dad at Game 7. He got emotional there.
Yeah.
Proud dad.
I think that's the only time I've ever seen him cry.
Yeah.
And
now I'm showing it on national television again.
And then my brother was crying there too, which I haven't seen him cry since playing mini sticks in the basement and throwing them through the walls.
Yeah. There must be a lot of holes in the wall when growing up.
There were a lot. That was mom was not too happy with that stuff.
No.
Then we had to bring it outside and play roller hockey.
But your dad is a legend.
And he played 19 years and was one of the best players of all time and one of the best Americans of all time. And he he unfortunately never got the chance to win the cup. And I don't think he would change a thing to see one of his boys lift that trophy. And one of the coolest moments I had was after that on the ice, having my whole family out there with me. And I don't know, I had the cup in my hands for some reason. This was after all the celebrating, and I got to hand it to him. And it was one of the most special moments in my life.
Buddy. Come on, Matthew. This is the best.
He just made America swoon. Matthew Tkachuk just made America swoon.
Look at that.
They really don't know that he's the most disliked player.
Oh,
Seriously.
They don't. They don't. Like, you know what?
Horrible. Punch you
and-
right in the face.
And sometimes, like, so, and I would say this: my personality off the football field, you wouldn't think I played football the way that I did, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes you have to play a certain way to survive. And I wasn't going to outrun anybody, so I was very confrontational on the football field. But off the field, I wasn't like, people weren't afraid to come up to me because of it, right?
Certainly aren't afraid to come over to the Hard Rock with 900 posters to
My
sign.
goodness. I don't think, you know what? I don't think that the people in this building understand, right? Like some of the situations
Hmm?
that they put me in.
Mm-mm.
They really don't. Because, like, again, we were in Vegas and the cabbie just,
How do you
Leroy.
think his script is going?
Dude. So there's nothing worse than being somewhere with Tobin.
Yeah.
And somebody saying something and he's going.
I don't
So when that guy said script,
Yeah.
and he looked at me,
Well, laugh it up, dude.
or the worst part was the seatbelt incident.
I'm
Where
really upset I missed that. That's
where
wonderful.
he never tried to help.
Mm.
He just sat there and waited it out. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, you're too hard. You got gentle with it.
Mm.